At Second Wind, we sure do like talking, but not everyone wants to look at us while we talk. Well, good news! Our podcasts like Windbreaker, Firelink, DevHeads, and The Rewind, plus audio-only episodes of Fully Ramblematic and Adventure Is Nigh are all on Spotify or your PPP, and that's your preferred podcast platform.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Windbreakers podcast. I'm Yahtzee Crucial. I'm joined by Jay.
Me.
Yes, and Marty's still away in Weeb world. So we're joined by Jesse G.
Hey, we've got Marty at home. Here I am.
Now, this
We've been
might
off with
interest
all
you
of us.
listeners. This might interest you listeners, but when the whole team was in Milwaukee, we were split between numerous living situations, and one of the Airbnbs was occupied by this particular team that you see before you right now. It's just the three of us. That's where Jay promised. That's where Jay promised to make katsu curry and never bloody did.
Motherfucker, I tried
Jay.
so hard. I also did make, what was it? I made fried chicken and rice for like 7 people. I tried, dude.
I breaded it for you.
You also
did,
made
you
mac
offered. It was good.
And breading is the hard part. You just had to
cheese.
dunk it in hot oil. Anyway.
The non-dangerous part, the oiling.
Anyway, you can tell the atmosphere in this podcast has already gotten pretty thick, which is appropriate because this week we thought we'd talk about, for no particular reason, atmosphere in games. What do we mean when we say a game is atmospheric?
That's a good question.
Because I think we should break that down because, you know how an immersive sim, no one can really define it, and I just say it's any game where you have the option of using a vent to get into a place instead of the front door. What if we had to break down the term atmospheric in the same way?
I can tell you what mine would be, and I'm probably wrong. I think of atmosphere as the feeling that something is going to happen, even though it isn't happening. So like they have the atmosphere of like, this is spooky, this is scary, something is going to be upsetting, even if nothing.
Like anticipation. Like there's a sense of
kind
anticipation to it.
Suspense. Atmosphere is suspense. In your view.
Oh, well, it doesn't have to be. Oh man, but there's another. That is one aspect of it. I'll start there.
Well, there is the whole premise of liminal horror, the horror of the in-between place, an occupied school at night, or a hotel corridor where no one's present. Those all sort of inherently carry suspense because they're places that are in between the places where things actually happen.
Yeah.
And those are, I would say, atmospheric.
100%. Yeah. I think like how I think of atmosphere is I agree with both of those sentiments, but I also think it expands outside of strictly things that are based in horror. I like to think anything that has an atmosphere is something that has like a tangible sense of space where things make sense. And it's not like overly video gamey. It's like everything from the mechanics to the narrative kind of meld together to give this concrete sense of like this place is living and breathing and has an atmosphere to it. I'm just trying to think of some examples of that.
Well, there's a few in the thumbnail. How does Bloodborne strike you as an example?
Oh, well, a lot of the ones in the thumbnail, two of them are kind of like horror adjacent. Dredge is one that's really drenched in atmosphere. Bloodborne, for sure. And I'm not just talking about the fog. That game is covered in fog. But yeah, a lot of the how the NPCs act and how the world operates, I think, has this real. There's a level of suspense to how the NPCs talk to you. No one's very straightforward in Bloodborne. It's very ambiguous in what they're saying, but it all makes sense within the confines of the world. And then when you're trudging through it, you're unraveling more and more mysteries towards the narrative. I think that gives it a nice atmosphere, and just like the vibes in general of just like the setting, that kind of gothic setting. Just I think inherently has a lot of atmosphere.
Well, for me, I'm with you, Jay, that atmosphere doesn't necessarily mean horror. To me, atmospheric means that you can plonk the player into the world and have them walk across a room, and they instantly get a sense for the emotional tone.
That's a great way of putting it.
That's really good. And that
Yeah.
leads directly into a non-horror game I wanted to mention with great atmosphere, Fall Guys. To your point specifically. Like, no, because you look at it, all the characters are all beans. They're all friend-shaped. Like, everything. You have swinging axes, but they look soft or inflatable. Same with the environment, like the stuff you land on. It has a feeling of, like, silliness that you won't get hurt. It's lighthearted. Like, you don't have to be upset from failing. That's just part of it. So, yeah, I think that kind of nails your point of an example.
The example I was going to bring up was Hi-Fi Rush.
Oh,
that
yeah.
Is a game I would consider very atmospheric because everything in that game moves to the music. Everything's got this very sort of cel-shaded, highly detailed, highly colorful energy to it. And it's probably cheating a bit because it's using music as a gameplay mechanic, and audio is a big part of what creates atmosphere.
Huge, yeah.
But it's just infused with the whole thing.
That's a great point on the topic of music, because music is the greatest vehicle to set an emotional tone of a scene.
Not just
you can
music,
strip out,
ambient sound in general, I'd say. Like the classic example, of course, Silent Hill 2, the opening forest walk, the weird sounds, the weird sort of distant groans and moans that, like, at the surface, you just sort of dismiss as the sound of the world, distant traffic, distant things moving around. But the more you sort of think about it, the more you wonder what could be making these sounds, and when you don't seem to, when everything seems to be dead.
Yeah, sets that tone really, really quick. Silent Hill 2, the OG is a very good example for that. It is definitely a blending of visuals, narrative expectations, and sound. Like,
it's
atmosphere is everything.
Things.
Yeah,
it's all the little things. It's the way things feel, even like the way the character moves, the sound, the haze hanging in the air. And I suppose this topic, well, we chose it pretty randomly out of a list of like old topics we haven't used yet. But I guess it was resonating at the moment because I've been playing The Outer Worlds 2 lately.
Right.
And I'm really struggling to write my review of it. I was trying to write it this morning because it's really hard to put my finger on why I find it very boring.
Right.
I think it's got good writing. It's got a consistent aesthetic. It's got functional enough gameplay, but there's something so quintessentially uninteresting about it. And I think, thinking about it, it's just that the game has no atmosphere, really.
Yeah.
So what about...
That was my problem with the first one.
Yeah. It's... I'd also like Bethesda RPGs like Skyrim have a similar problem. Because a lot of it's like just that the characters feel very unreal in those. They just sort of walk around following the agendas, and just while you're talking to them, they just maintain fixed eye contact with no change of facial expression.
Yeah, they aren't really doing anything.
I suppose we...
yeah,
because I suppose when we say atmospheric, we could be talking about immersion, because I always feel very unimmersed in these games.
See, I feel like they could be different. A game can have a good atmosphere and not be immersive. Again, the Fall Guys example, I don't really feel immersed in Fall Guys, but I do feel its atmosphere. I do feel its expectations. Or sometimes games that I don't like, where it's like, oh, I clearly understand what they're going for, but I don't like it. I am not immersed.
I think like you are arguably immersed in Fall Guys, right? Like,
well, as we say, it's a very consistent world. Everything's like got vibes of soft play area and children's game shows.
Yeah.
So it's you get immersed in the sense that you believe that you're in that world of soft play and fun and color and Saturday evening family television.
Yeah, you're not thinking about like how how are these mechanics working? It all makes sense. Like Fall Guys just makes sense. You look at a bouncy pad and you understand that you're going to bounce on it. When you get hit by the swinging hammer, you're going to get smashed around, right? You're never thinking about, well, what were the developers intending here? What part of it? Like, that's what becoming your immersion being shattered is, right? What were the writers doing? What were the designers doing? Like, that's what you don't want to be thinking.
Well, thinking about it, maybe that is the problem with the Outer Worlds too. Because as you say, you see a big hammer in Fall Guys, you say, oh, that's a big hammer. Better avoid that. Meanwhile, the central threat of Outer Worlds 2 is there's a weird wibbly-wobbly space thing that might destroy us all, but doesn't seem to be getting a rush on, if it will. Go deal with it.
What?
That's the plot.
Very vague.
How do you deal with it?
I don't know.
Oh, well,
how does your actions throughout the story impact getting to a solution for that?
Well, it sort of falls into the background for a lot of like the first half of the game because the first half of the game is based on chasing this one character who betrayed you and like getting revenge on them, and you just forget all about this weird space phenomena thing. But then at the end of like the first act, you confront the villain, and then whatever happens, suddenly the space phenomena goes, by the way, I'm a space phenomena, and everyone goes, oh shit, a space phenomena, and then the plot becomes about that again.
That raises a good point. Do you know the thing in RPGs where like there's an incredibly important main task to do, but then there's a wealth of side content that takes the character away from the pressing problem at hand? Like what was it, Fallout 4? Why would I be going off to do all these side quests when I'm trying to find my child, X, Y, and Z? But like that's the problem, because creating more side quests adds more believability to the world. It's something outside of your main quest. NPCs are doing other things. That's really cool, but also morphs it to be focused on something else, which takes you out of the main story. So that's the kind of RPG open world problem, is that doing one harms the other.
And interestingly, I think like Breath of the Wild just got mentioned in the chat, but I think Breath of the Wild sort of avoids that. Because when you start Breath of the Wild, like Ganon's already won, he's taken over. Like the world is in his grasp, and the game's like, obviously you need to deal with that, but don't go straight away. He'll wipe the fucking floor with you. Just go around, help people, improve your skills, get strong, and when you feel ready, come and sort Ganon out. Because Ganon's not going anywhere, and things aren't gonna get any worse. He's done what he set out to do. So I think that works. And I think that it is very atmospheric, that you can at any point look at the horizon and look at like the horrible red cloud hanging over the mountain and go, oh yeah, gonna have to deal with that at some point.
It does make the climax of that game feel, I don't know how you guys felt when you finished it, but like a little bit anticlimactic, of just like, oh, okay, it's over. I remember doing a bunch of quests, getting all of the doing all the divine beasts and stuff, and then being like, I'm gonna finally tackle Ganon's castle. I ended up climbing up 3/4 of it to the main boss room, and then just wiping the floor with Ganon and just being like, oh okay. And like I completely agree, it being this, hey, they've already won, you go tackle them when you can and you feel ready, I think is a really nice design choice. But maybe not scaling him based on where the player is at might be an issue. Or there's value in it. I don't know.
I know it's difficult to balance that against individual player skill, I suppose. I mean, you don't want it to be too, alienating for people who don't feel like doing absolutely bloody everything first.
Yeah, and it's a game for children. I
don't remember thinking it was anticlimactic. Truth be told, I don't remember much about the final boss of Breath of the Wild at all.
It's like all of the Divine Beast bosses in a row, I think, or like slight variations of them. I could be wrong.
And then isn't there a bit where you're like in Hyrule Field and on horseback?
You're using Zelda's bow to like shoot a big pig Ganon as he's running across the fields. Yeah.
Or was that Twilight Princess, or was that just the same?
I think it's both. I hate Zelda.
Zelda repeating something? What? No, not
never,
Zelda game.
Never ever.
Next, you'll be telling me there's a boomerang in it.
One of the there isn't a boomerang in Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
Unless you count the throwable what are they, the Lizlofts, the lizard people, they have like throwable boomerang. things. Anyway,
there's a bow and arrow.
This is true. No hook shot. Maybe in the next one.
Toffee's poking his head out on
Saying
guard.
hello.
Aww.
He's ready to get a move on when he senses me wrapping things up.
Oh yes, lunchtime coming up. Another game that I think is dripped in atmosphere is BioShock, and I don't think that's a wholly original thing to say, but I do think a lot of people would attribute that to like the horror nature or like that kind of like suspense. But I also just think it's the world building. You've spoken about it a lot, Yachts, about how powerful that opening is. It sets the tone so well. Like, it's perfect. And then from the rest of the game, you know exactly what to expect. And then through its narrative, it subverts those expectations, like based on the player's input. And I think that's wonderful.
I'm trying to think what would be the defining theme of BioShock. Like, if you had to put a word on the emotional tone of the game. And the word I keep thinking of is bombast.
Okay.
Where everything is kind of over the top.
Yeah, like over the top plane crash. Oh my god, screaming, fire, get into the lighthouse. Then there's fucking Andrew Ryan, and he's just giving the most bombastic speech in video game intro history. Is a man not entitled to the sweat of his brow? Don't answer that. I'm going to answer it for you. Bombast, preach. And look, here's this fucking city at the bottom of the sea that I built. Impressed yet? Yeah. Best intro in gaming history.
It's so good. Yeah, and then the introduction of the like when the biosphere gets down, the bathysphere. I can't remember what it's called.
Bathysphere, yes.
A biosphere would be where you go to the toilet. It gets down, and then the splicer crawling over the top, and then like walking off. It basically hits every single emotional point and theme it's going to be trying to hit throughout the entire course of the game in that like 10-minute section. And it really sets that tone.
Game kind of falls down once you actually start playing it, but yeah, there's no one quite like what's his name? Designer of that game. Damn it. Starts with T.
What as in the person who designed it?
Yeah, the developer.
Oh, no, they're the publishers.
Oh god, it's on the tip of my tongue. Ted.
Oh, as in the game director. That's Ken Levine.
Yes, Ken Levine. Thank you.
Oh,
yes. Nobody quite like Ken Levine for setting a tone. Just it's keeping that tone going through the whole game. That's the problem.
And then trying to do that across a trilogy.
Yeah.
Trying to recapture that magic. Alas, hopefully, Ghost Stories will succeed at that with what was it called? Judas?
Yeah, I don't know why I thought there was a T in the name. Just the K. I thought the K was a T.
Hey.
Ted Levine?
Ted Levine.
Was I getting confused with Ted Levine? Is Ted Levine a person? Did I get confused?
I'm sure there is a person called Ted Levine. It might be Ken Levine's brother.
Okay. Never mind. Ted Raimi. Yeah. Maybe that's what I was confused by.
Are there any games that like start out kind of poo-poo, but like the atmosphere kind of settles in later on? Like
yes. I thought that of Remnant from the Ashes. I thought that game starts kind of boring. Like, oh, post-apocalypse. Oh, it's Souls-like. Oh, shoot the dudes. Oh, everything's great in a ruined city. But then, like, a couple of hours in, it's like, oh, by the way, you can go through a portal to another dimension. And it turns into fucking sliders. I was like, where the fuck was this? This is fun. I'm enjoying this now. I'm a dimensional explorer.
That is really cool.
Yeah. I think Dragon's Dogma does that a little bit, too, where it feels mostly just fantasy-y at the beginning, but it really is in the details that you start being like, oh, okay, I know what this city is. Oh, what these characters are. Oh, what this creature means. Oh, and like then it with all those little details, it builds the world into something more akin to like having an atmosphere like this is unique.
Yeah,
but at the beginning,
environmental storytelling I think is really important in that aspect of like. You're not explicitly having an NPC like exposit a fact. You are letting the players look at something and deduce the story or narrative by themselves or overhear something, because I think that gives a lot of weight to the space of just like something happened here and you are just walking into this space that existed rather than you're walking into a level that's been designed.
Yeah.
Now, this is something I've talked about. I used to call it immersion storytelling. Like it's something that From Software games do very well. Rather than telling a linear story, it sort of plonks you into a place where a story has happened, and you just sort of piece it together by drinking in the atmosphere and the details.
Yeah. I think it gives a lot of longevity to games as well. Like if we look at the community of people still diving into Souls lore and stuff like that, that kind of design philosophy has led to a lot of people becoming extremely invested within the narratives that those games are telling.
Yeah, the trouble with that model is that everyone wants to have that now, but you can't expect people to get that invested in everyone's lore.
Agreed.
It's like us. It's like trying to introduce a new MMO. Like, why would I want to play a new MMO when I'm already fully invested in all these other ones?
Yeah, you have to really, really twist it.
Yeah. And how am I supposed to get invested in the lore of every random fucking indie Souls-like that comes along? I've only got so much room in my head for lore.
Also, it needs to be worth diving into.
Yeah, it has to be fun. It has to be good lore.
Yeah, well, it also has to be good gameplay too. Like it's like one of the things that makes the Dark Souls enjoyable is that you can go through it in game and be like, "Ooh, but this and this."
Yeah, and the first time you play, the game doesn't tell you shit. Like, who the fuck is Great Grey Wolf Sif? We don't know. First playthrough, there's just a big dog trying to kill me because I walked too close to this grave. But
yeah,
once you know the lore, you can appreciate it better.
It's also really important where you drop those things, right? No spoilers for the actual narrative.
My point was that you don't need to know the lore to appreciate the fact that we're fighting a great big fuck off wolf with a sword.
It's a good boss
fight. That's the cool bit in itself.
Going on or not.
Where you drop these things, no spoilers for the actual narrative whatsoever. But in Expedition 33, the world is very atmospheric and has a lot of like what is going on and intrigue and mystery. But about 3/4 of the way into the game, they kind of reveal what the mystery is, and I was so interested once they revealed it. And usually, when you reveal the twist, I'm like, most of the time it's kind of like disappointing. But this intrigued me so much, and then I was just further disappointed by the fact that the game was ending. I was like, wait, now it's the final few missions, but this thing is so interesting. Please explain more of that. And I really hope it's got me really invested that if they do a sequel, I hope they explore more of the stuff they revealed there.
So if you weren't,
it happened so late.
If you weren't obliged to play the game for your job, do you think you'd have played all the way to the end to see that big twist? Would you have stuck with it with all the stuff before that?
Yeah, well, I didn't play it for work. I haven't, apart from after the fact where I made something for Patreon exclusive. I wasn't intending to.
Must be nice.
I played
to be able to play a game casually.
I know, right? I played it just casually because I'm on a big JRPG kick, or JRPG kick in their case.
Yeah. Mr. Jacques RPG.
And just because people were just raving about how great it was, and I was like, for most of the playthrough, I was like, yeah, this is really good. I don't think it's one of the best games ever made. And then when they contextualized all of the mysteries with this reveal and how that recontextualizes the whole rest of the game, I was like, I get it. I get why people are so invested in this world, because some people might be a little too invested. But like, it's really, really, really good. And it's cool how setting up a mystery and then revealing it can kind of have the atmosphere settle into a concrete like story and narrative. It's really powerful.
I'd have thought like atmosphere was something that didn't need lore. Like it's just something that gets you hooked right away. And then the lore comes in later, like with Dark Souls and understanding who Sif is. But so I think the atmosphere comes first. It's like, hey, I'm feeling an appropriate emotion. I'm intrigued. I just have a basic general sense of intrigue without there being anything that specifically intrigues me.
You've nailed it. Like, because earlier we said when we were describing Silent Hill 2, it was the idea of all of the elements coming together to create atmosphere. So being the sound, the visuals, and I think one of the important ones is narrative context. You have narrative context for why James is going to Silent Hill. And it's a very small amount of context, but that just sets up expectations so that, because if we remove that context and we just have James walking through foggy forest, that's way less more atmospheric than if we know why he's there. So once you have that narrative context, you can build on it and then create narrative and add lore to it. You just need that little spark of context first.
Yeah, to your point, that's a problem we've had in a lot of Hot Monday Energy games that have been like, oh, but this is a spooky opening, right? And you're like, yeah, why am I here?
Yeah.
And like they don't answer that. And that context makes a huge difference.
It does.
See, it's necessary for immersion, as we say, because if you don't know why you're there, you're only playing it from the perspective of a player, I suppose. You're just the person who started the game, and now you're pushing forward to see what happens. Whereas if you were given context for who we are and why we're there, we can immediately start going through there from the perspective of the player character, like James.
Yeah.
We're going through this because we're going to look for old Jimbo's wife. We're going to help him find his wife. And that's as good a reason as any.
Yeah, it's always just like, I don't think at the beginning of the game, the player should be questioning why they are controlling the player character and the character's base motives. Even if it's as, oh, someone's knocked on my door, I'm getting up to go answer the door, or I'm going into Silent Hill to find my wife, or whatever. Like, you shouldn't be asking, why am I doing this? Because then the question then becomes, why am I playing this? And then they'll go somewhere else, right?
Now, go back through games I've played recently. Outer Worlds 2. Why am I doing this? Because I'm an agent of the Earth government. Okay, that works. Right, Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2. Why am I doing this? I don't know. I woke up in a coffin and killed a bunch of guys. And now I'm searching for answers? Yeah, I guess that doesn't do it very well.
No. And it can just be a tiny thing. It can just be an absolute tiny thing. But like having a motive for like a character will inform how a player then navigates and observes the environment. Like, because if you know you're looking for, I think, what's that game? Atomic
Heart?
Not Atomic Heart. I think it's the one that does environmental storytelling, and it doesn't have quest markers on the like on a compass and stuff.
Oh, yes, the Rebellion game.
Atomfall.
Atomfall, thank you.
That I haven't played through that game, but there was very early on. You mentioned an example, Yahtzee, that's really stuck with me from a design perspective, which is just like, you're looking for scientific, like something scientific, and when you enter a facility, there are signs to like their labs, and there's a science room, and it's like the player is smart enough to know, I'm going to go look for these things, I'm going to do this, and all they need is that spark of context to then go do it, that then informs them to pay more attention to dialogue because they need that information to be able to know where to go. It just really just sets that immersion in, and the atmosphere just like comes from that. It's really powerful.
Yeah. So yeah, motivation is a part of atmosphere. And I think another thing that's for video game atmosphere in particular is that we need to understand how much danger we're in. Like, we need to understand that we have the ability to die or be hurt. I think that's a big part of atmosphere as well.
Yeah, I think like understanding that why a thing wants you dead as well, or not. I guess in Silent Hill there isn't really any reason why. Well, there is.
You take the sort of view, at least on the first playthrough, that you're in just a horror scenario where it's just, we stumbled into a place we shouldn't have, and now these things want to kill you because you're an outsider. That's the basic horror spooky town model. But we learn after we know the actual plot of the game that there's a lot more to it than that. But yeah, we're there. They're killing us because it's a horror game. That's all you really need at that point.
I guess that's like something I'm thinking back on atmospheric games that I've mentioned, be that Claire Obscure, Bioshock, or like Silent Hill 2. A lot of them have like really good replay value based on you understanding and getting through the game and understanding the narrative. You can play back through and really view the game through a new lens. I didn't think, like at the beginning, if you asked me, do atmospheric games need motives and are they replayable? I'd go, I don't think those things are connected. But after this conversation, I'm like, actually, yeah, I think they are.
Well, conversation dried up there. Should we go to Super Chats?
Yeah, we go to suppies.
Unless we had anything else to bring up.
I actually had a thing to bring up that I was curious about. I guess the best way to put it would be external atmospheric initiation things. We'll workshop a better name.
Kind of sounds like management speak to me. We're introducing external immersive incentives.
Yeah, but for example, I think an amazing source of setting an atmosphere was the original PlayStation startup noise. That noise set me to be like, whoa, it gave me a sense of like mystery when there was something new. When I was playing a new game, it was just so weird and strange. Whatever kind of game it was just like it set me to be surprised. And then if it was, hour 30 of Final Fantasy VII, like there was a level of like familiarity with it.
Yeah, but it was the soundtrack of entering the other world of the video game.
Yeah,
it was like a signal that we were passing from everyday reality into a new place. It was like it's like the moment in the cinema when the curtains open or the lights go down.
Yeah, and like the aspect ratio increases, and like they make it wider after the trailer's finished. It goes,
yeah, fucking no more trailers now. Yes,
everyone, shut up. Yeah, that's right. I'd never really thought about that. Like, how do you set that atmosphere? Like going a layer deeper from the opening of, starting your console. Carry on.
I used to, like when I was a kid, I had like a tape deck Commodore 64, and I used to get the sense of anticipation from like pressing play on the cassette deck. Like there was a little ritual. You'd hold down Shift, run, stop, and then the game would go press play on tape, and you press play, and like the intro screen would disappear, and it would switch to like loading graphics, and it was all part of like this weird ritual of entering the video game world.
Yeah, it's all extremely Pavlovian, right? Like once you go through these rituals, you start to anticipate what's going to come after based on like repeated action. I just think another layer deeper is just like we were talking about music. Start music, like starting screen music, like menu music is so important for like just baseline setting a tone of like what you're gonna experience. I'm sure if we I'm yet to play for it, but I'm sure the menu music for Metal Gear Solid is very apt for what comes next. But if you change that to like Benny Hill, very different expectation coming up.
Well,
right?
quite. Yeah. Yes, that's emotional tones again.
I think for the music, not just I think menu music, absolutely, and I think specific in-game music as well. Like Resident Evil 2 in the original, the safe room music. It is weird and creepy, and like definitely has like sinister tones to it.
Yeah.
But then you realize eventually that this is the noise of safety. Our thing froze for a minute. We might still be frozen.
Are we frozen? Are we here?
I think we're back.
Acknowledges chat. Hello. Yes. Okay.
All good. We're back.
Oh, that's us.
Are we back? Refresh the page, everyone. Okay.
Hey.
Right. Super chat time. Yes, this is the money that people give us to read things out. Thank you very much. Starting with Minduel, who gives $2 and says, Atmosphere, Windbreaker. Is this really a $2 goof? Probably not, Minduel.
But thanks.
Thanks for the money, though. And then Ryan Betts, member for 21 months in tip jar. Thank you very much. And Sovereign46 gives €2 and says, I'd say about 21% oxygen and 78% nitrogen and 1% other. Arf, what a wag you are, Sovereign46.
Good point.
Yes.
We can't argue with that.
Yeah, that is the makeup of Earth's atmosphere. Interestingly, breathe nitrogen by itself and you die.
But that little bit of oxygen.
That 21% of oxygen does a lot of heavy lifting.
Huh.
Sinos the Hedgehog 2000 gives $5. Says Sonic Frontiers atmosphere made me feel I was stumbling onto a forgotten time I wanted to explore and learn. Shame the characters and dialogue ruin it. Yeah, I talked about this in my video about tone. It was like you start the game, fucking it's pouring with rain, Shadow of the Colossus atmosphere, like the slow pan over like long grass blowing aside to reveal ancient ruins, and then continues panning. There's a fucking blue cartoon mouse in sneakers with big eyes in the middle of it.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is one of those things we should probably take a step back and reconsider one of these days.
I get a little bit of that in Final Fantasy 14, where there'll be this really intense cutscene happening, and it will pan through all of the characters, and they'll all be at head height, and then it will pan down to like a Lalafell, which are like tiny people, and there's this fat mustache, and it's like shocked, and then it pans back up to the tall people, and I'm like, I can't take this seriously. Like,
Juicy Jeff 969 gives $5. There's nostalgia and personal experience can give weight to well-crafted worlds to make them feel like home. Recently, Easy Delivery Company has captured this for me. I remember playing the demo of that. That's the one where you like drive a truck in Silent Hill.
Oh, why have I not played this game?
that's fun.
Yeah. And I wasn't sure if it was trying to be a horror game or it was just pure atmosphere game. Because it was just driving through the snow in a truck and no monsters ever jumped out.
Oh, it's just like there's just fog.
Yeah, it's like what do you call it? A tone poem?
Tone poem.
Yeah.
Okay, well, and there's like little. Okay, the characters don't look like they'd be in for a shock. I don't know. People who've been playing it, is there more like horror elements to it, or is it just like a tone poem, as you said?
There's horror elements. I'm into it.
Oh, yes, clearly.
But if not, yeah.
Ryan Betts gives $2. Says, "Congrats on reaching over 100 episodes of Windbreaker." Yay! Yes. And,
did we? Oh shit, we did.
Yeah, and based on our internal storage drives numbering, at any rate, this week's is the 100th episode of Fully Ramblematic.
Hey!
Oh,
Yes.
nice.
I mean, I've made like 1,000 zero punctuations before that. It's basically the same thing, but hey, arbitrary milestones.
We take those.
A Superb Owner, member for 23 months in tip jar. Thank you very much. And then A Superb Owner gives another $5 and says, "Quick, before Marty and his allergies return, who are the best doggos in gaming?"
Oh, good question. Can I name any video game dogs?
I'm really drawing a blank.
Yeah, that's the dog. There's
Dog
the
meat.
Fallout dog. Yeah, dog meat.
Yeah.
Who's the best doggo? The dog that sits in your boat in that pixel art fishing game I was playing a while back, whose name I've completely forgotten.
Oh, Okami, Sif. Yeah.
Okami's a wolf, right? Not a dog.
I mean, so Sif. And what are dogs if not wolves? With a few sliders changed.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're wolves.
Quite a few of the sliders.
They're wolves that don't bite your throat out, given half a chance.
True.
Although I'm sure Toffee's thought about it. Especially when
Toffee
I'm
may have
waking him
tried
up.
it. You might not have noticed.
He's nipped. He nipped the kids when they were a little bit too, what toddlers are like at him.
Dogs do that.
But we have to teach the kids, that this when the doggy's growling, that means he wants space.
Yeah.
That's an important lesson to learn. Oh, I see KK Slider. That's a good one.
KK Slider.
He's a pretty good doggo, but does he really embody doggo energy? He's anthropomorphized.
Yeah,
who's the best dog that acts like an actual dog? Like the thing from The Last Guardian. That sort of acts like a dog. Ooh, Cerberus from Hades. Best doggo.
Yes, Cerberus is a great example. Yeah.
He's a great doggo.
Yeah, agreed.
In the sense of being a doggo rather than just a person with a dog's head. Dog Dr. Theo, member for 21 months in Tip Jar, and then Senos the Hedgehog comes back with $5. It says, can you fellas please berate Sega? They recently announced Shenmue's 25th anniversary, and now the fans won't shut the fuck up about how great it and the Dreamcast are. Well, I don't know how to explain to you that Shenmue is bad, Sega fans. It's like that meme that's going around in response to like American politics. It's like, I don't know how to explain to you that you should care about other people. I feel that way about Shenmue. I don't know how to explain to you that this sucks. I mean, look at it.
Well, everything I've seen about the gameplay of Shenmue looks like ass. I don't get it.
Well, it's got that it was like one of the earliest like open world do anything you want sort of game styles.
Yeah. And then Yakuza came along and made it completely obsolete.
Right. It very much took stumbling steps towards a trend that other people would run much further with.
I guess. I mean, donkeys were stumbling steps towards cars, but we don't like have any particular nostalgia and all want to ride a donkey down the street.
I'm with you on this. I can't play that game. I don't enjoy it. But it is important in like, oh, here's how we got to where we are.
Agreed. But that doesn't mean that stumbling has just continued to happen through 2 sequels, one of which came out within this decade.
Yeah, Shenmue 3. It's like learned absolutely nothing. It's just more of that Shenmue crap that was crap in the first game.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, Dr. Theo gives $5. It says, playing Gary's mod maps alone certainly have that liminal atmosphere to it. There's a reason why there's a lot of Gmod ARGs out there. Yeah, there is a certain atmosphere to playing like a multiplayer map when you're the only one on the server. I've seen like concept horror games based around that concept.
There is a literal horror game. No players online.
Yes, that's the one.
Where you are going through you are playing a multiplayer shooter, but no one else is online. And then there's the sense of like, can weird things happen? Speaking of atmosphere, that game has amazing atmosphere.
Cool.
And then there is some sort of plot involved.
I think how this started for me was when I used to play a lot of Duke Nukem 3D back in the 90s, and I got like one of those big like third-party demo discs that was like 1,000 Duke Nukem 3D maps, but like 80% of them were multiplayer maps. So they didn't actually have monsters in them. And so you just hear that, you just walk around an empty map listening to the classic Duke Nukem 3D like grab bag music.
Cool.
And yeah, there was a very distinct atmosphere to that. Very almost spooky. Like, clearly this is a place where something is supposed to happen, but it isn't.
Ooh.
That's atmosphere.
That's liminal space horror. Baby. Raven415 2001 gives $2 and says, Raven's weekly word of the week. Oh, I was wondering when this was going to happen, Raven. You weren't at the start.
Usually the first.
Week 24, quidnunk. I have never heard of that word. Excuse me while I look it up. I mean, clearly there's Latin roots because quid's in there.
What's quid Latin for?
Quid pro quo, something for something else.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, I like this word.
Okay, a quidnunk, an inquisitive or gossipy person. Oh, there you go.
They seem like 2 different things. I think you can be inquisitive and
I've never heard that term before.
No,
yeah, like quid, like just checking the etymology. Yes, it's from the Latin phrase quid nunc, which literally translates to what now?
Ah, okay. Always asking the question?
Ooh, yeah, because one of the definitions I have is a person eager to learn news or scandal.
Yeah, well, is it much use as a word if most people don't know what it means? Is the question. I mean,
that's how all words start, though.
I guess, but I don't think this one's going to like trend its way into common parlance anytime soon.
No.
I mean, I don't think so because we already have words for this. Like it is a synonym for something that's more commonplace now.
I mean, obviously we have neologisms like, Netflix and chill. But I've never heard of a word like falling out of common parlance and then falling back into common parlance by becoming a neologism for something.
Maybe
I'd have an example.
TikTokers will get a hold of it.
Okay.
Ooh. TikTokers, save us.
Bloody TikTokers. Witticism gives $10 and says, been playing Expedition 33 lately, and I think it's got great art, direction, and world design, but it's not atmospheric. The world is such a surreal dreamscape, I can't get any emotional grounding in it. Now, I'll tell you what the atmosphere of Expedition 33 is. The atmosphere is French. Not France.
That's true.
French.
He's right.
It's about being moody and wearing black and white striped shirts.
And killing mimes.
Yes, and throwing your typewriter across the room because you don't know how to write your incredibly depressing 19th century work of literature.
I'd be interesting to hear how far you are into it, witticism, because I felt the exact same way. I played a few hours, 3 or 4 hours, and then put the game down because I was like, meh. Went back and played through it, and now my opinions on it have completely changed. So
Is it
I'd
like
be interested to hear how far you are.
Like a Silent Hill 2 thing where you need to know the story behind why it's all weird to really appreciate all the really weird stuff?
Well, like I said earlier, the explanations of the twists and turns do recontextualize what you've experienced, and you start to go, oh, that meant this, and this meant that, and oh, okay, that makes sense. So it's not necessarily like you need to replay it, but you start to understand it more. But the more you get to know the characters and you grow attached to them, obviously, your immersion level grows as your love for the characters grows, if you like the French.
And then Sinister Hedgehog 2000 gives $2 and says, the Bioshocks still make me feel tense and isolated. Ooh, isolated, that's a good word. I would have said entrapped. I think part of the great atmosphere in Bioshock is that you're trapped in this place. And it's that juxtaposition against this place that's clearly been designed as a nice place to live, but which suddenly became a horror environment, largely because of the fact that people weren't allowed to leave it.
Yeah, and how they were trying to keep it all like maintain this utopia through drug use, and then that fucked everyone up. What a game!
There you go. I think entrapment is a very good thing to have for horror. It also quite works in a sitcom setting. The feeling that the characters hate each other's guts but can't get away from each other.
That's a very British sitcom way of looking at it.
Dang, I gotta watch more British.
That's very
sitcoms.
Bottom.
Because
it's very Red Dwarf. People who would not choose to be with each other if they could, but circumstances prevent them from leaving. Father Ted as well is a good one.
Yep,
it's one of my favorite dynamics in media.
Black Books. Yeah.
Nidorom gives $5 and says, can you think of an example of a game that you liked overall, but the developers' attempt at an atmosphere fell short? Well, I brought up Bethesda RPGs, and I was enjoying playing the Oblivion remaster because I was being a stealthy archer, which is I've since learned is the only real way to play Oblivion. But yeah, I wouldn't say that game was very atmospheric at all.
I've got an example of one that falls off, which is Alien Isolation. I think that game is drenched in atmosphere and fear and entrapment. And once the game's, as always, is people have said it's too long. And the longer you stay in it and the longer you learn how the alien works and how the systems work, that atmosphere dies down and it just becomes a video game. And it really loses its steam.
Especially towards the end. It just starts to get a bit silly, really. I mean, there's a sort of purity to it early on, funnily enough, like the alien itself, where there's just one of them, and the mere presence of there being one of them has basically completely destroyed relationships on this space station. But then it all just turns into disaster movie bollocks.
This might be on my mind because someone brought it up earlier in chat. It was Divinity Original Sin 2, where I like that game. I think it's great. I love the characters, great writing. The plot's good. I love the strategic combat. Super great. Atmosphere is fantasy. Like, there's some specific things that are cool. Like, you are specifically, spoilers, raising to status of divinity as one of the gods. That's part of the plot. But like, it's, a fantasy world.
Mhm.
The atmosphere is...
Yeah, it's not D&D.
You've just reminded me of Avowed as well, which I enjoyed playing somehow, but again, it's a fantasy world, and I don't really get a sense of atmosphere from it.
Yeah, that's what made me put it down. Avowed. I was just like, I'm not getting. I guess I'm starting to realize as a player, I do kind of want a sense of atmosphere as I go into a game to allow me to become invested. Because if there isn't, I'm just like, I'll go play something else.
Ryan Betts gives $2. Says Internet Pit Stop has some good video essays on this. They slip in your backhanders, are they, Ryan Betts? Well, noted. Thank you for the name. And then, look at it! Look who it is! It's Tsunami Dusha. He's got a shiny $20 sticking out of his bum crack, and has no words to say in offering of it.
Not even a toot. Says nothing. Thank you, Tsunami Dusha. We appreciate you.
Blimey.
Thanks.
And then Sinus the Hedgehog 2000 again comes back with another $2 and says, random request, but can any of you whistle Dixie? Well, I could certainly try.
Which one's Dixie?
Mike's not picking up anything.
Yeah, you are just really making kissy faces at your microphone right now.
Well, I was whistling Dixie just then, and it's not my fault if Discord doesn't pick it up.
Yeah,
Discord.
Okay, fair.
I don't know what the Dixie tune is.
Dixie is the tune that goes, oh, I wish I were in the land of cotton, and not forgotten. Get away, Dixieland. I
think I've ever heard that.
I don't think I've ever heard. I've heard the term whistling Dixie tons of times. I don't think I have ever heard that song.
Really?
Yeah.
It's like quintessential like folk music of the American South, I believe.
Well, let me tell you what I'm not up on.
What? Yeah, there you go. Play all the games. Gives $4.99 and says bringing up Subnautica for having great atmosphere that shifts from survival to survival horror over the course of the narrative. Yes, that has the atmosphere of being stuck under the sea, where there's lots of things that want to eat you.
The atmosphere in that game is too good, which means I won't play it because I have thalassophobia. So I'm just like, I can't play that game.
It almost becomes a horror game unintentionally, just through the fact that you're exploring huge ocean depths.
Ugh.
Blistered Soul 4037 gives £1.99 and says soaking in seams and corners of dense crafted worlds. Yes.
You're soaking in the seams?
I'm not sure what the subject of that sentence was, but thank you. And thank you for the money.
I mean, like all the little details, the seams and the corners.
Yes.
But for you to soak that in, you need to have a want to soak.
Some people want to soak.
Well, I always like to soak.
It's true. Depends on the temperature.
It's good. It's good times.
T.G. Irving gives $10. Says nobody wants to die. Packs so much world building and character setup in the first couple of minutes before you even open the car door, and I love it. I'm not terribly familiar with that game.
Also not.
Oh, was that the detective game? I think Jess did a bite size on this. Oh, Jess, did you do a bite size on Nobody Wants to Die? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Lose yourself in the dystopian world of New York. Immortality comes at a price. Blah, blah, blah. Interactive noir. Lead the investigation using advanced technology.
Jess said, do not recommend, but great atmosphere.
I got confused with Nobody Saves the World, and everybody's gone to the
that's what I was thinking.
Oh, very different game.
Oh, blimey. I'm still phlegmy.
Oh, blimey, you're still phlegmy?
Yes. Sanos the Hedgehog, we can't keep them away. They keep coming back. And gives $5. Says, can making your own atmosphere count? Putting on music / podcast while playing Power Wash Simulator gives me the atmosphere of being a hardworking helper. Yeah, I used to like playing Euro Truck Simulator, and I'm pretty sure that game sort of will stream local radio through it for you, so you don't have to put it on in the background.
Oh, that's fun.
So you can feel like a trucker.
Wait, so like if you were driving through like Utah, it would play local Utah, but then if you made it into Arizona, it would play local Arizona?
No, I think it just plays whatever your personal favorite radio streaming service is through the games, like
Got
in like diegetically through the game's radio.
Okay, so it shifts to actually being from that position. So if you turn your head, it's coming from the car speakers and stuff.
Yeah, that's something I used to like doing in Euro Truck Simulator. If you turn your head, your character sticks his head out the window to look at what's behind him. And I was imagined I was a happy dog, feeling his ears streaming in the wind.
Best dog in gaming.
Yahtzee's favorite dog in gaming is himself.
There you go. Myself in Euro Truck Simulator.
Yeah.
Juicy Jeff 969 gives $5. Says external atmospheric influence peaked with the announcer yelling Super Smash Brothers at the start of the OG and Melee. Shame it never reappeared. Like how every time you press start on a Resident Evil game title screen,
Resident Evil.
It says Resident Evil.
Yeah, that's a good tone setter.
I love that noise.
In case you were worried, you accidentally started playing Hello Kitty's Island Adventure or something.
He should also do the announcement for that, though.
Hello Kitty Island Adventure.
Screen goes pink.
Yeah. Just existing 45, member for 21 months in the Green Gang, says Toffee looks like my wee pup. His name is Link.
Aww.
Hello, Link.
Hi, Link.
Yeah, I guess he does look like a Link, sort of. He's got those ears.
Picture of Toffee.
Yes.
Ludo's asleep down below us.
That's a quintessential Toffee having just woken up face.
That's a mood.
Maybe he'll demonstrate it for us now. Hey, Toffee, wake up. Oi. 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 Look at the camera for the nice people. Nah, he's sulking.
It's been a rough day for Toffee, I'm sure.
Yes, it's been a rough 2 hours of being awake. Laboratory Maniac 7324 gets $2. Says happy Rambleversary Yahtzee. Thank you very much. Laboratory Maniac 7324. Is it our third year anniversary?
Second.
Or is this our second? Second year, yes.
Coming
second
up
year
on
of
Saturday.
Yeah, so our third year will start from Saturday. There you go. Just existing 45 gives $2 Canadian. Says, okay, so Jesse totally sounds like Jack. Just noticed.
Do I?
I can't hear that.
No.
Seeing Jay's face makes me think. No.
That was me thinking. I'm really intensely thinking face. I can't hear it. Wait, are you originally from a similar area?
I'm also originally from the Midwest. I started growing up in Ohio, finished growing up in North Carolina.
Oh,
I do think Jesse sounds a lot like other Jesse. I mean, you might know other Jesse's voice from the Battle Masters videos. He's
putting on a dumb voice for that, though.
He's got a dumb voice, but it sounds a bit like the sort of dumb voice Jesse G would put on as well.
Like, ooh, welcome to Battle Master. Like that.
Okay, I can hear it now.
Yeah, see?
I'm on board now.
There have been moments when we've been doing our filming trips where Jesse has said something and I assumed it was other Jesse because it sounded just like him. Anyway,
one of us has to change.
Yeah, well, yeah. Start by changing. One of you needs to go by a different name, I think. How do you feel about being Jesse with an IE on the end?
I mean, that's fine, but also you're going to say it the same way, so it won't be helpful.
Oh, damn. How about one of you could be Jesse? Jesse.
Or Jesse.
Yeah, Jesse.
Move to France.
Nice. Yeah.
It's a solution.
Diane Spencer 5653 gives £10 and says, I've just got home from work, so have some money. Thank you.
Hey,
welcome money back. You earned today from work.
Hell yeah, Diane Spencer. More power to you.
Thanks.
Clistoris gives €2 and says, speaking of trapped, the start of Inscription for me.
Fuck
that is one we should have mentioned. That game has amazing atmosphere.
All of Daniel Mullen's work has great atmosphere. Pony Island.
Did he do Iron Lung, or was that someone else?
No, that was someone else. That also has a lot of great atmosphere that felt sick playing.
All these atmospheric 32-bit developers start to blur together after a while.
I think there's a lot of really good 32-bit atmosphere inspiration, though. And I feel like, because I remember, like, the original Tomb Raider, I feel like does a really good job of that because of its layer of darkness, where it's like you can see close to you and you can always be aware of what's close to you, but you never know what's just beyond that.
I mean, lest we forget, 32-bit was the dawn of survival horror with Resident Evil and Silent Hill and all that. And there were, like, technically survival horror before that. People keep bringing up Sweet Home, and there was Alone in the Dark, of course. But Resident Evil was the first one to call it survival horror.
It cemented a lot of things. Kind of like Shenmue, technically first open world, but didn't do it the best.
Yeah.
Resident Evil is the one that cemented a lot of established and new tropes for survival horror.
And honestly, I've never really liked the first Resident Evil game. I like, or indeed the second or the third. It was Resident Evil 4 that made me start liking Resident Evil as a concept, because that's where I got it. I was like, oh, okay, this is camp. This is horror, but it's also camp. I was never clear on if that was intentional in the previous Resident Evil games. But yes. Zaratha gives $5 and says, oh yeah, I remember that Sonic character, Knuckles the Equidnunk. LOL.
God. What weird creatures.
And Sasigura 2000 gives 5 euros and says, Fallout 76 had great atmosphere before they ruined it by adding NPCs. Oh, wow. They ruined it by adding one of the fundamental aspects of narrative game design. There were always NPCs. It's just you didn't like hang out with them. You just heard their audio logs and stuff.
Does that count? Also, does the audio log of a person count as an NPC?
Yeah. They're a character, aren't they? One that you are not playing.
So every note you find in a survival horror game, that is an NPC?
It was written by an NPC, yes.
Yeah, by an NPC.
It indicates the presence of NPCs. I mean, it's a story, right? And this is a character in that story.
But I feel like there's a difference between the interactable NPC and the
it's expositing just in a slightly different way, right? You're not asking it to exposit a detail. It's passively giving you that detail through a log.
Where do you draw the line? An NPC who wrote an audio log has in some way shaped the world we are now inhabiting. And does that really make a difference if we can actually see them shaping that world as well?
I think so.
A debate for the ages, perhaps.
if a character is dying on the ground and in their last words says exposits some bollocks, is that different from finding their corpse and having them exposit that bollocks into an audio log and those are its final words?
I mean, functionally, no.
I think, arguably functionally, no. I could stand behind, but I think thematically, absolutely different. Like,
I mean, in terms of like in terms of emotional beats, it's different, but in terms of like, you know, being part of that world, it's the same thing.
Yeah, but there are also different functions. If you have a NPC, you can ask them multiple things. You can interact with them multiple times. You can do, oh, okay, well, what about this thing that I found? Versus the note, which is just, here's a note, and that is all it will ever be. You might find another note somewhere, but that will always still be just that note.
But the NPC doesn't necessarily have a conversation with you, like the example of the one that's still alive when you reach them and then immediately dies after giving you their last words. You didn't get a chance to ask them any additional questions then. Does that mean that NPC was functionally the same as an audio log?
No, I think it's different.
Okay.
Here's a topic for another time.
Yes, the vibes are different.
What's an NPC?
That's not nothing. Anyway,
what is an NPC?
It's a character in a game that we don't play as. Thank you for joining this TED Talk.
So a piece of paper is a character.
If it was written by a character and indicates the presence of a character, then that character has a presence.
Okay, but a coffee mug on the table indicates the presence of a character. Someone was there to drink coffee. Is that a character?
Yes, but they haven't. Yes, but they haven't been characterized in the way that they have been if they've written a note.
So a coffee cup that says "World's Greatest Dad," that's a character. It's been characterized.
All right, then yes. If someone's left a coffee mug on a table that says "World's Greatest Dad," that indicates the presence of the world's greatest dad in the game's world.
What if it's
That encompasses the NPC. Not necessarily is the NPC. It gives presence to the NPC, just like a bedroom from a character would.
I mean, if there's a mug that says "World's Greatest Dad" and it's on a table that's covered in blood, that is a little story. You can feel empathy for that character. You say, "Oh no, that person had a child and now they're dead. This is a tragedy." That makes them a character.
But the cup isn't the character.
No, the cup isn't. No one's saying the cup is the character. I said the cup indicates the presence of a character that is in some way shaping that world.
Yeah, which I feel like is different than a character, an NPC. But
that's
a whole other topic.
I mean, we're only like 2 super chats before the end. Let's not.
Yeah, this is some Hot Monday energy stuff. Save it for tonight, Jesse.
Let's not snag right at the very end like an uncomfortable horse chestnut at the end of a long poo. Anyway, Sinus Hedgehog 2000 gives $2 and says, "Can I succeed in final sentence without touch typing?" I guess, because I succeeded in final sentence and I don't really touch type. I just have memorized where all the keys are and move my fingers all over the place accordingly.
A step away from touch typing.
Yeah. It was harder and probably less efficient, but it works for me.
Mm-hmm.
And ST Pirate 89 member for 23 months in tip jar. 23 months! That's like all of the months.
It's nearly 2 years.
Ooh.
And then Just Existing 45 gives $5 Canadian. It says, I want to like Final Fantasy, but keep getting bored. Any advice on which one to play to get into them? I have tried 7 and 15. All my friends love them. Well, there's your problem, Just Existing 45. That's not a great sample you've taken there. 7 and 15.
Yeah. I just did this.
Yeah, you want to start with 6, like what I suggested Jay should do. And he did. And now he likes Final Fantasy.
I am super eager to play the rest. 6 is a fantastic game. I was speaking to a friend of mine last night, and they raised a good point. When you play old games like this, 6 is 30 years old. You need to meet the game where it's at. Like, you need to understand that the designs and how it was put together is from a different time. So things are a little bit different. And just appreciate the like a lot of the mechanical stuff, but mainly go in it for the story. 6 has an unbelievably good story, and all of the characters have depth, especially Mog. And it's
a good story and not a particularly sophisticated one. It's like evil empire took over the world, and there's an evil clown who wants to cause chaos.
Yeah,
and all the rest of it is just in the characters, really.
Yeah, and all of like the second half. No spoilers for what happens, but in the second half, a lot of the side quests that in other games would be fluff are all ways to explore and give dimension to each one of the NPCs and either recruit them to your party and then get more context on them. So like just playing the game gives you a lot of info on the characters rather than it just being, random quips or cutscenes at the end of combat encounters. I can't recommend it enough. Can't say much for the rest. I'll get to them.
Yeah. Final Fantasy 15, not representative, I'd say. That's the one where you're like on a boys' trip. Yeah, on the boys' road trip.
Yeah,
the boy road trip, right? Yeah. Yikes.
I think I also 6 is a really good one. This is coming from someone who also loves 7, so
okay.
Great Assault.
I like 6, never really had much affection for 7. There you go. The two perspectives. Geld on Yetich gives $5 says the shortest story, for sale, baby shoes, never worn, debatably character and atmosphere. I don't know. I'm not getting much atmosphere from that, Guild on Yetich. That's just, again, presence of characters and the rest you have to infer.
Maybe the baby was born with freakishly large feet and they needed to get new shoes.
You know what? My youngest was like huge when she was born. Like our eldest was 99th percentile for size at birth, and our youngest was even bigger than that. So we had all this like hand-me-down newborn clothes that she just never wore because she was too fucking big. She went straight to like 1-year-old clothes. So we could have written for sale baby shoes never worn, and it would have been perfectly non-tragic. It would just been our baby was too fucking big. Have these tiny shoes. Our baby's too fucking big. So yeah. Well, that's the end of the super chats. Oh goodness, they kept trickling in at the last minute, but that was hopefully the last one. I say hopefully. Hopefully we'll get more money. That's always good. Money's good.
Yay.
But the best way to give us money, of course, is to join the Patreon, where you can get many, many wonderful additional bonuses, bonus videos, lore reads, that weird quiz thing that Jack did that he's going to put out soon.
Eric's saying, wait, you didn't read the Ko-Fi. Okay, so from Lord of the Rings fan, 193, what's up, dude? Blueprints became creepy to me for a few days after one of the fortune teller's visions. Ooh, that game has atmosphere. I reckon that game has context, visuals, and sound combo to create a sense of space. It's great.
What's the one word? What's the one word summary for the emotional tone? The way BioShock has bombast.
Bollocks.
Bollocks. Blue. How about intrigue?
Intrigue's a good one, yeah.
Intrigue.
Yeah, I dig that.
Or perhaps just
So we've just got down to it on context. Entrapment and intrigue are both driving forces to push the character, you and the character forward. How do you get out of the situation? What is happening? Like, what are we looking at? What am I looking for?
Yeah, where do you want to go?
Atmosphere.
Yes. Or to summarize, Is that it? Any more Ko-fis?
That's it.
Okay.
Eric's not shouting at us, so I think we're good.
Okay. Well, that'll be it from us then. But don't forget, this is not the end of Second Wind content. Ho ho! Not by a long shot for this week. We've got more shit later. What have we got later today?
Hot Monday Energy.
Of course, Hot Monday Energy. It wouldn't be Monday without it. We got Jay's video that went out earlier today on Game Freak's hidden agenda or whatever that says.
Grind, yeah.
In grind. And probably not in Pokemon, no. Don't forget my fully Ramblematic video on Wednesday. This will be on the subject of Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2. A game about vampires and blood arranged into lines. Possibly even 2 of them.
Ooh.
So check that out. And this week, we do have a semi-ram dropping on Thursday. I thought we had one last week. Turns out I was wrong about that. The schedule all fucked up because of our Milwaukee trip. But yes, semi-ram hasn't gone. We just skipped an episode. There will be one this week. Okay, calm down. I saw you all panicking on the Reddit and the Discord.
Calm down.
Yes, what's it on about? Oh, it's about Silent Hill 1, actually. I assumed it would be coming out in October, but yeah, as I said, I was wrong about that. So when it references that it's spooky season, just indulge it, all right? So that's me. And don't forget my Wednesday stream, Yahtzee Tries, where I will be playing indie games and such like. Ooh. I think Nick is very keen for me to play Egging On this week. So I'll probably be doing that.
There's one of them.
Yes. And there was another thing that Jack recommended. Something Ark or Ark something.
Ark Raiders?
No, not Ark Raiders. Something he likes. Okay.
Oh.
I don't know.
Obscure Ark indie game. Yes, Angel Nicole. Yes, there will be a Dev Heads this week. We are potentially, this could change, going to be having the creator of PUBG on to discuss their new project, which is going to be really interesting. Tina said something this morning, which is she made Apex Legends and her husband made Warzone. So they've both made careers off of stealing from this person. So it's going to be an interesting conversation.
If you steal but do it better and succeed, that's just how the creative industry works.
That's just art. Yeah. So yeah, check out Design Delve that went out today. Look forward to DevHeads. And then obviously on Saturday, we have our 2-year anniversary celebration stream. So you guys can look forward to a full day of wonderful party games that we're going to be playing with you guys and also here on the team. We look forward to celebrating with you guys.
Yes. And hopefully we'll figure out what those games are at some point.
Jesse.
Christ.
That's me. Mentioned Hot Monday Energy. Thank you both for having me on. Really awesome 2-year anniversary stream on Saturday. Very excited for it.
All right, then.
Fuck yeah.
All right, then. Well, I guess that'll be it from us, then. I'll see you all on Wednesday. Everyone else will see you all probably some other time. Possibly later today. Bye.
Yeah, bye.